Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am back with another video, and this time we're going to be doing a beautiful full set of coffin acrylic nails. So the first thing that I'm doing, of course, is just going in with a cuticle pusher. This is an OPI cuticle pusher, but remember you can use any kind, whether it's a plastic one, wooden one, metal, as long as you can either disinfect it or dispose of it. Next, we're going in with a 180 sanding band, and I'm using my Melody Susie Scarlet nail drill. As always, we just file around the cuticle area, going from the right side over to the left side until you remove the shine. But remember, you want to make sure that you don't file too much, because we're literally just removing the shine. We're not thinning down the nail, just removing that shiny layer. Next, we're going to go in and apply the nail tips. I'm going to be using these clear nail tips because I am going to be applying some glitter on some nails, and we just want it to be clear underneath. So these are the nail tips that I will have on my website again really soon. They're just the clear nail tips. Remember that when you're applying the nail tips, you want to make sure that the nail tip fit from sidewall to sidewall. So make sure that you measure each finger individually, because a lot of the time I know for sure that one of my thumbs is slightly bigger than the other. So just to be safe, just measure each finger individually. Again, make sure that the nail tip fits from sidewall to sidewall. Once you've measured it, just apply the nail glue on the nail tip, which I'm using my KDS nail glue, and then just place the nail on their free edge and just hold it down for a few seconds until it's dry. Remember, your nail tips come in a number 0 to 9, 0 being your biggest nail tip, 9 being the smallest nail tip, and then the rest is just going to be, the other fingers in between. So again, make sure that they fit exactly from sidewall to sidewall. If one tip is too small and the other one is too big for a certain finger, just use the one that's a little bit bigger and just file it down on the sides to make it fit perfectly. But you never want to force a nail tip down if it's too small, because you will get breakage or lifting. Okay, so we're going to be leaving these nails this long. We're just going to be trimming down the sides. We're going to do a coffin shape, so I'm using a straight edge nail clipper. Make sure that it is a straight one. As you can see, the top of the nail clipper is straight. I know I actually just had someone in the comments earlier today say that they were using the curved one, so it was messing up their shape. So make sure that you pay attention to that when you're going in and trimming down the sides like this. And this is just going to help us save a little bit of time whenever we actually start shaping. So after this, we're going to go in with a 100 nail file, and we're going to be shaping the nails into a coffin shape. So as always, filing the sides at a 45-degree angle, and then the free edge at a 90-degree angle, and also just blending the nail tip right in the middle. That way it will look a lot more natural once we apply the acrylic. So again, 45-degree angle on the sides and 90-degree angle at the free edge. Make sure that when you're filing the free edge, you hold the nail tip. That way, it doesn't feel weird on their finger. And then that's pretty much it. So again, 45 on the sides, 90-degree at the free edge. And make sure that when you're doing this, you're paying really close attention, not just, you know, filing, however, because you will be able to see your shape changing. So just make sure that you file, you know, about the same amount of times on each side, and then 90-degree angle at the free edge. That way your nail is not crooked. Alrighty, so now I'm just going to go in and just dust the nails off, and then we're going to go ahead and apply the primer. I'm using my Protein Bond by Young Nail, which I really love. I haven't had any lifting at all since I've been using this one, so I do highly recommend it. After this, we're going to go ahead and apply the acrylic. So as always, I'm using my Mia Secret acrylic system in the color pink. I'm using my alpha brush in an oval shape, and it's a number 10. And we're just doing a thin layer of acrylic over the entire nail. That way, next time when she comes back, we can just remove that the colored acrylic next time she comes. So again, we're just doing a thin layer of acrylic over the entire nail with the pink acrylic by Mia Secret. So really the reason why we do this is because, again, once we have them come back, if they want something different, we can just file away the colored acrylic and we don't have to do a whole new set. Okay, so after we finish applying that thin layer of acrylic on all of the nails, we're going to go in with the AB Glitter Acrylic by Nail Supply Glamour, and this is in the number 1. As you guys know, I love their acrylics. They go on so good, and their colors are just so beautiful. So this is again, the number 1 glitter acrylic. As you can see, we just apply the bead closer to the cuticle area, brushing it down towards the tip, and then of course, if we need to add a little bit more, then we can do so. And then to encapsulate this, I'm going to be using the same Mia Secret pink, or you can use clear. I just use the clear, or sorry, I just use the pink because it's really translucent and it just gives the nails a little bit of a hint of pink, but not much at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the same on the index finger, and then the rest we're gonna use the colored acrylic, which is also by Nail Supply Glamour. I'll be sure to leave the link in the description as well as the promo code. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in and just encapsulate that glitter. So again, I'm using my Mia's Secret pink acrylic. We're gonna go ahead and place that bead right in the middle, patting it down, and then we're gonna be brushing it down towards the tip. Make sure that you're encapsulating this glitter really good, because if not, whenever you come back to file, you are gonna be filing some of that glitter away. So as you can see, the way to know if you've encapsulated really good is when all of the glitter looks dull. If it still looks really shiny, then that means that the glitter is not fully encapsulated. And then of course, make sure that you have a nice apex, and also make sure that you have a nice thickness at your tip. So remember to look at the nail from the size, and then that's going to determine where you need to add more acrylic. So if you see like any little bumps or lumps, then you just go in and even it out. And then if you know that the bump is just huge, and if you add more acrylic it's going to make the nail really thick, just file it down once you finish at the end. So don't just add acrylic, because you don't want to have a super thick nail and you don't want to be filing all day after you're done. So we're going to do the same thing on the index finger. Again, we're just encapsulating the glitter. Alrighty, so next we're going to go in with the colored acrylics. Again, these two are going to be by Nail Supply Glamour as well, and then also the cover color that I'm going to be using. So what I'm doing is I'm just picking up small beads of the colored acrylic, and then as you can see, I'm kind of swirling the two colors into each other, and we're just going to apply these two colors on the tip, and then we're going to come back with a cover color at the back. That way it creates a ombre look. And this color that I'm using, it's a yellow, and then the other one is supposed to be like a hot pink. I know it looked really hot pink in the container, but once we apply it, it kind of gives off like a hint of red. So it kind of looked like ketchup and mustard, but it still looked really pretty. So again, once we apply the two colors on the tip, we make sure that we blend them really good in the middle. We don't want to have a big lump right there, and then we go back in with the cover rose, or sorry, I'm actually going to be using the cover pink. So make sure you apply, however much acrylic on the tip or however much of each color, whether you want more red or more yellow, whichever one you want. And then once you have the tip down, that's when we go in with the cover color. So again, this is the Mia Secret Cover Rose. I get this one from Nail Supply Glamour as well. We're going to go ahead and just gently pat it down and then just brushing it down towards the middle. We don't want to brush it all the way down towards the tip because of course it'll take away from that ombre, but just brushing it down towards the middle. And then once we have that nice and even, we're going to go in and apply another bead closer to the cuticle area. And make sure that when you're doing this, you're brushing the acrylic very, very gently. You don't want to make the acrylic dry a lot faster, because I feel like if you pat down too hard or brush down too hard, that's what causes your acrylic to dry really fast, and then that's when you have those bumps and lumps. And then after we finish applying the cover pink, we're going to go in and just encapsulate those colors with the Mia Secret pink, because again, if you don't, and if you just go in and file afterwards, you are going to file away the colored acrylic, and it's going to look really patchy. So this is a step that you do not want to skip. Again, you can either use pink, you can use clear, whatever you prefer, but this is just the Mia Secret pink acrylic, which is really translucent. Alrighty, so we're finishing off this nail. As you can see, it's nice and even. And then after this, we're going to go ahead and move on to the other nails. So it's basically going to be an ombre as well, except for it's just going to be a one color ombre. So this one we're using the neon yellow, and then we're going to come back in with the Mia Secret pink as well for the back. Oh, sorry, the Mia Secret cover pink for the back. So first, again, we apply the color on the tip, and then we come back and apply the cover color at the back, and then we apply the either clear or Mia Secret pink to encapsulate the two colors, and that's pretty much it. Okay, so for the thumb, we're going to do the same pinkish reddish color. We're going to do it at the tip, and then, of course, blending it right in the middle. And then after that, we're going to come back in with the Mia Secret Cover Pink. And remember that when you're doing the ombre and you're using colored acrylic, make sure that if you're applying the a certain color on a tip and it looks a little translucent, just go back in and add a little bit more acrylic, because that's what I was having to do with this one. It still looked really translucent, especially since I was using the clear nail tips, but you just add more to make it look more full or more opaque, or whatever you want to call it. But after that, we're just going in with the Mia Secret Cover Pink, of course, blending it right in the middle, and then afterwards coming back in and encapsulating it. And remember that when you're applying the acrylic, if you get it on the cuticle area, make sure that you stop what you're doing and quickly go around that cuticle and clean around there, because if you let it dry up, it's going to be nearly impossible to take it off. So just clean your brush off really good and go around the cuticle area. I know that was a question that I had. I think today they were asking if you dip your brush into the monomer or an acetone or what when cleaning around the cuticle area when you're applying the acrylic, and you don't do any of the above. You literally just wipe your brush off on the paper towel and go around that cuticle area to remove any product that's on there. But you want to make sure you do that right after you apply the acrylic, because if not, again, the acrylic will dry up very quickly. Alrighty, so same thing for the other hand. So again, we're going to do a thin layer of acrylic over all of the nails. After that, we're going to go in and do the glitter and then the colored acrylics, and then encapsulate them with the same Mia Secret Pink. And it's going to be exactly the same as the first hand. Alrighty, so once we finish applying the acrylic, we're going to go in and reshape the nails. So we're using that same 100-100 nail file. We're just going on the sides at a 45-degree angle and a 90-degree angle at the free edge. And remember, this is just going to help reshape the nails and redefine that shape, because after we apply the acrylic, it kind of takes away from the shape a little bit. So this is a step that you do not want to skip. Alrighty, so after we finish reshaping the nails, we're going to go in with the extra fine drill bit, and we're going to be filing all of the nails. So as always, I first start around the cuticle area, working my way from the right side over to the left side. And since my nails are always pretty nice and smooth and don't have any bumps and lumps, I don't, really have to do much filing around the entire nail, but I do always focus around that cuticle area first. No matter how good your cuticle area looks, you have to go in and seal the acrylic, because if you get any water, any moisture trapped underneath the acrylic and the natural nail, you will get lifting. So make sure that you seal that cuticle area, and then of course, just go in and file the entire nail just to make sure it's nice and smooth. And then if you have bumps and lumps, then of course you will have to spend a little bit more time, filing the rest of the nail. But for me, it's just around the cuticle area and then a little bit on the rest of the nail. And then as always, you can use a hand file for all of this. You don't have to have a e-file when doing acrylic nails. It of course just helps with speeding up the process. And you really never get good at using the drill unless you use it. It does take practice to get good at using your nail drill, but it is going to be scary at the beginning. So if that's kind of where you're at right now, don't worry, just kind of use it every now and then and just get a little bit of practice here and there, and then you start feeling more comfortable when using it. But again, we're just filing around the cuticle area from the right side over to the left side, and then just filing the rest of the nail. Remember that when you're using your drill, you want to make sure that you keep it moving at all times. You don't want to keep it in one spot for too long, because it will cause friction and it will cause your client's nail to burn. So make sure that you're careful with that. And again, this is the Scarlet Nail Drill by Melody Susie, and I'm using an extra fine drill bit by Pana, and I'll be sure to leave the link in the description to all of these items. Alrighty, so now I'm just going to go in and buff the nails really good. Remember, this is just going to get rid of any of the scratches left on the nail from the hand file or the e-file. So we just want to buff the nails really good. And then as you can see with my thumb, I go in there and just feel on the nail to see if it's nice and smooth. And then if it's not, I just go back in and buff a little bit more. Once we're done doing all of the buffing, we're going to go ahead and just dust the nails off. You can either have your client go wash their hands, or you can just use an alcohol wipe to just wipe the nails off. And then after that, you can do, you know, whatever you want, whether it's polish, top coat, bling, whatever. But for this set, we're just going to be applying some bling, and then we're going to be doing the Madam Glam gel top coat. Alrighty, so now that the nails are nice and clean, we're just going in with the Soleil nail adhesive, and then with my wax pencil, I'm going to be applying some SS6 and SS12, and we're going to be doing that on the ombre nails. And then of course at the end, we're going to spray that bling with the Mia Secret Gel Resin Activator to help that glue dry a lot faster. And if you are using this nail adhesive, I do recommend that you get the activator spray as well, because it helps that glue dry a lot faster. So again, we're just applying the bling. On this one, we're just gonna do just a few around the cuticle area, not this whole, you know, same thing as the middle finger. And then on the thumb, we are gonna do the same thing as the middle finger. So again, we're using the SS6 and SS12, my wax pencil, and the Soleil nail adhesive. Okay, so now we're going to go in and spray them with the Mia Secret Gel Resin Activator. And then I'm using my Madam Glam Gel Top Coat. We're going to apply that on all of the nails. And then we're going to be curing this under my UV LED lamp for 60 seconds. Alrighty, so same thing for the other hand. So we're doing the bling on the nail with the ombre, and then we're spraying them with the activator and then applying the top coat. Alrighty, y'all, so here is the final look. They turned out so pretty. I love that glitter. Those colors went so well together, and y'all, that shape is flawless. So as always, I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at GetNail32, and I'll see you guys next time.